It is an irrefutable fact that Louis Vuitton is one of the world's most recognizable high-end French luxury brands. But did you know that Louis Vuitton, the company, was founded by a homeless boy from a very modest background? Yes, that's right. Louis Vuitton Malletier, the pioneer of modern luggage and founder of the luxury brand Louis Vuitton, has an inspiration story worth sharing and learning from. And he is, without a doubt, a paragon for global entrepreneurs. In today's video, we will dive deep into the life of Louis Vuitton's journey to becoming a successful entrepreneur. His story is much like a fairy tale that involves the death of loved ones, a mentally abusive home, a purportedly evil stepmother, and a great deal of struggle. But like any fairy tale, his life story too has a happy ending that it deserves. Louis Vuitton began his climb to success as a basic box maker and packer in France in 1852 for the President of France, Louis Napoleon Bonaparte's wife. Working for the Empress of France introduced the young Vuitton to a slew of royal and elite clientele who sought his services. So successful was he in his endeavors that today his brand is worth $23.4 billion and is one of the world's most recognized luxury leather and lifestyle brands. Louis Vuitton has collaborated with well-known companies such as Fenty, Marc Jacobs, Dior, Sephora, Fendi, Tag Heuer, Tiffany & Co., and Hublot. Ho Yeon-jung of Squid Games is the latest global ambassador for this famous French luxury house. His early life. Louis Vuitton was born in Angers, France on August 4, 1821. His father, Xavier, was a farmer while his mother, Coronne Gaillard, designed hats. Vuitton, who grew up in a long-established working-class family, recognized the value of hard work and spent most of his childhood on the farm, caring for crops and cattle to aid his family as much as he could. Unfortunately, when Vuitton was just 10 years old, his mother passed away, and his father remarried a younger woman who lived up to the classic image of the evil stepmother. His stepmother was a terrible woman who was exceedingly cruel to Vuitton from the start. But things got way murkier when his father passed away. She got even harder on Vuitton, making it difficult for him to live with her. Hence, in 1835, at just the age of 13, Vuitton, a strong-headed, stubborn boy, stepped out of his comfort zone and escaped his small village to the bustling capital of France, Paris. He walked 292 miles from his village to Paris, a trek that took him nearly 2 years to complete. On his life-altering journey, he worked part-time with craftsmen and artisans, barely scraping by and often sleeping on the streets of France with nothing but a cloak to keep him warm. His journey was without a doubt difficult, but wasn't in any way fruitless, as Vuitton would learn important skills and trades that would help him in the future. This was the time in France when the first railway line had just opened, making travel more accessible and causing the business to expand. Craftsmen like Louis Vuitton took advantage of this by creating personalized boxes or trunks for nobles, so as to withstand these long journeys. The use of trunks to store essentials had become a necessity. Rise to prominence. In 1837, Vuitton arrived in Paris at the age of 16 and began working as an apprentice for Monsieur Maréchal, who taught him how to build long-lasting containers. Louis Vuitton did not earn much, but his willingness to learn paid off in more ways than one. Through his hard work, he quickly became a favorite of Monsieur Maréchal's clients and was in high demand due to his prowess. As a result, he eventually earned the position of personal boxmaker to the Empress of France, Eugénie de Montijo, wife of Emperor Napoleon III. The Empress of France commissioned Louis Vuitton to create boxes for her and pack them with the most exquisite items and attire. This incident marked a turning point in his career and offered him access to the elite, enabling him to launch his own company. Prosperous startup founder. The opportunity to serve the Empress provided Vuitton with significant advantages in the years ahead, as he went from working as a mere luggage maker in someone else's business to being able to create his own. The year 1854 was one of change and transformation for Louis Vuitton. He met Clémence Émilie Perriot, a stunning 17-year-old, and in the spring of 1854, in April, they were married. That same year, a few months after his wedding, Vuitton left Monsieur Maréchal's store and established his own box-making and packing business in Paris. Beginning of modern luggage. In 1858, Vuitton presented a new trunk design 4 years after founding his shop. As an expert craftsman with a distinct vision, Vuitton noticed that traditional rounded-top leather trunks that were popular among travelers were an awkward shape to stack. He also realized that instead of leather, he could use a better substitute canvas like Trianon that was lighter, more durable, and resistant to water. Hence, Vuitton debuted his distinctive canvas boxes made of Trianon, which were rectangular in shape, exhibiting a flat top and a tumbler lock to prevent theft. This new style combated the impractical dome-shaped trunks, therefore making the trunks easily stackable and significantly more convenient for transporting. In less than 2 years, his trunks became a must-have item among the public, and most observers regard Vuitton's trunk as the beginning of modern luggage. His business took off after this invention, and to meet the increasing demand for his baggage, he opened a more extensive workshop in Asnières, a village outside of Paris, in 1859. The firm had become so well known that Vuitton not only got personal orders from French nobility, but also got nobilities from far-off lands like Egypt. The Franco-Prussian War. Unfortunately, a war broke out in France just as Vuitton's business started to explode. The Franco-Prussian War was a civil war that destroyed the French Empire and forced Louis Vuitton's family to flee their home and live in camps to survive in 1870. Because food was scarce, the family nearly died of starvation. When the war ended a year later, Vuitton returned to his workshop devastated and his materials stolen. Things got worse when Vuitton's patron, the Empress of France Eugénie, went into exile when the Prussian victory deposed her husband. But this tragedy did not dissuade him, as he quickly began looking for a new location to rebuild a workshop, devoting his last savings. Property prices had dropped significantly following the war, allowing Vuitton to open a new shop in an upmarket neighborhood of Paris, France, at 1 Rue Scribe. This new address had a significantly more aristocratic vibe than Vuitton's former location in Asnières, introducing him to a new elite clientele. After a few months, his business took off and he received orders from all over the world. By 1872, Vuitton had managed to successfully re-establish his company. Vuitton was a man who constantly tried to reinvigorate his products. He came up with a fresh design idea, introducing the world to a new trunk range with beige fabric and red stripes. Many individuals liked the new design since it was more modern, allowing them to stand out. This look serves as the brand's signature style even today. Death and legacy. Vuitton continued to work out of 1 Rue Scribe for the following 20 years, innovating high-quality luxury luggage. When the business was at its height in 1892, Louis Vuitton suddenly passed away at the age of 70. Fortunately, the Louis Vuitton brand did not die with its brilliant owner. The Louis Vuitton brand would grow into the world-renowned luxury leather and lifestyle brand it is today under his son Georges, who devised the company's famed LV monogram and floral pattern. Georges Vuitton had created a nationwide distribution network by the 1930s. Unfortunately, tragedy struck as it had with his father during the Franco-Prussian War, and Georges Vuitton sadly passed away in 1936 just as the firm was booming in the market. Gaston, Georges' son, took over the company and had a rough start as World War II began, prompting him to close production and stores of Vuitton worldwide. When the war ended in 1946, Gaston passed the firm's reign to his sons. The company went through another challenging phase as the brothers disagreed on many issues, so their brother-in-law Henri Racamier took charge of the company. Under him, Louis Vuitton went retail in 6 years, and revenues climbed from $20 million to $260 million. By 1987, the multi-million-dollar company had amassed a $1 billion revenue by building stores all over the world. Racamier merged the company with other brands, including Moet Hennessy, to form the LVMH brand. They also collaborated with Givenchy, Berluti, and Guerlain. Racamier's ally is Bernard Arnault, who has served as CEO since 1989. The firm went on to partner with prominent designers such as Vivienne Westwood, Manolo Blahnik, and Isaac Mizrahi to manufacture handbags with its monogram to commemorate its 100th anniversary. Since then, the brand has expanded into the fields of watches, clothes, and eyewear. Most of their products require 300 steps of assembly to maintain their impeccable quality, and workers must undergo 2 years of training. Deemed the most valuable luxury brand in the world by Forbes, Louis Vuitton, the billion-dollar business, owes its current $28.4 billion net worth to a headstrong and determined homeless boy who wanted to make a difference for his future generations.